Hello YouTube, Empathy Relics here today, and today I've got a commentary over the weapon balance in Black Ops 3 and whether I think there are any guns that are overpowered and what I think of the recent patch where they nerfed and buffed a bunch of weapons and score streaks. So before I get into that though, I do want to shout out the gameplay a little bit. So the gameplay that you're watching is of mine, and it's a domination on the map Stronghold. I'm playing against my friend Funny Stuff, who isn't the greatest player. He's new to Call of Duty. This is his first Call of Duty. He does like average. I'd say average for him. He doesn't do awful or anything. But I do want to clear up. He wasn't boosting for me. I'm not sure. I don't think he killed me. He might have killed me once or twice. I do kill him a few times, and I'm not boosting or anything. You know, he was trying to kill me, so, you know, whether you believe that or not, it's up to you, but we were playing against each other competitively. So, I don't play the objective at all until the second half of this gameplay. I kind of just kill whore, I go for my streaks, and, don't really worry about the flags too much, you know, I just try and slay out areas around the edges of the map. But then, when it got to the second half, I make a play and start playing the objective, and we end up winning the game by 1 point. So, I go pretty huge in the second half. I'm not sure, I think I go like 47-7, a scorecard around that, so I do really well, but if it wasn't for me kill whoring so much in the first half, I think that we would have won a lot easier. So it's usually not my playstyle to kill whore and not play the objective, but in this particular game, for the first half at least, I was just going for kills. So let's talk about the weapon balance. So the weapon I'm using, the XR2, did cop a nerf. Don't know why. I think that the XR2 is perfectly balanced. I think it was just the movement speed they altered, which is fine, I guess. I don't really see how that was a problem before. But, you know, there were some odd nerfs and some odd buffs amongst the patch notes. But one thing I'm not happy about is the fact that they nerfed the VMP. So, the VMP, in my opinion, was perfect. I didn't think it was overpowered, but it was very good. They didn't reduce the damage or the range or anything like that, but they just basically made a slower ADS time, and hip firing was a little less accurate than before. And you know, it's kind of confusing because I thought the VMP was fine, and the RK5 pistol, you know, I didn't find that overpowered, but they nerfed it, and as you can see, I think I'm just lagging at this point in the game, but it comes good, and I'm just camping for my streaks at this point, but the game does get a lot more interesting as we go along. So we're about a month into Black Ops 3's life cycle, and at this point I think the weapon balancing in this game is the best it's ever been in a Call of Duty game. You know, at this point in time, I think there have been probably better balanced Call of Duties, but definitely not at this point in the life cycle, and if Black Ops 3 just fixes a few things, it will be the most balanced Call of Duty to date, which is great news after what happened with Advanced Warfare, because that was the worst balanced Call of Duty game I've ever played, one of the worst balanced multiplayer first-person shooters I've ever played, and they had a 3-year life cycle for that, so it's good to see Treyarch, you know, spend their time wisely, I suppose, and make quite a well-balanced Call of Duty. But that being said, not everything is perfect. They did have a bunch like of buffs and nerfs for the score streaks. I think the score streaks in general are a lot better now. But some of the weapons didn't need to be nerfed, in my opinion. Like the VMP didn't need to be nerfed, and they buffed the Weevil, but they basically buffed it in areas where it didn't help. I think they made the ADS time a little bit quicker and gave it a little bit less recoil, but you know, what the Weevil needs is a damage increase, because at this point it can't compete with any submachine gun at close, can't compete with the shotguns up close, can't compete with assault rifles medium range, and really there's not much point using it. I do like the weapon, but it's just far too weak at this point. So before the update, there was a clear it was clear which weapons were the best in the game. Well, at least for me. I believe that the M8 was the best gun in the game. I still do, even after its slight nerf where they reduced the fire rate a little bit. I still think it's way too strong. You know, the one burst range on that thing is ridiculous. You can get one burst like halfway across the map. And it's a connection weapon, and connection weapons are never good for Call of Duty. So, I think they definitely need to nerf the M8 further. I just don't think it should be able to one burst at close range. I think it should always be a two burst kill, the M8, and I'm not sure why they reduced the fire rate of it, like when you make it weaker and keep the fire rate as it was. A bit strange for me, but yeah, the M8 was definitely overpowered. There's a reason why in Arena everyone bans it, because if you have good internet and you use the M8, it's unstoppable force really. And you know, I'm not a fan, because the M8 would basically, at one point, was outgunning all submachine guns at close range. Maybe the Vespa would be the only gun to kill it. So if you hit your first burst with the M8, you're winning 99% of gunfights. And it was getting to a point where it was quite ridiculous. It definitely needs to be nerfed further. So before any more patches come into play, the M8 still is, in my opinion, the best weapon in the game, and is overpowered. I don't use that term lightly, but in my opinion it was overpowered, especially if you had good internet. Otherwise, you know, with people with shitter internet like me, it's quite inconsistent. Sometimes it can take 3 bursts to kill, which is just far too slow when, you know, it's not the quickest firing gun. And for some machine guns, I think the Vespa probably did deserve its nerf. I'm not entirely sure what they did. I just think they reduced the range and its damage over range, which is fair enough, because as long as they didn't make it weaker at close range, because it is quite overpowered. I do think personally for me it was the most overpowered gun in the game, because I didn't use the M8, because I'd just been prestiging straight away, and you unlock it at level 55, so you basically only get 1 or 2 games with it before you prestige. So here's when I call in my Talon. At this point, I think we're down by a couple of points, or maybe we've just got the lead. It's neck and neck. I'm trying to use my Talon to hold B and slay out their spawn as much as I can. And my team do a great job of playing the objective in this game, but eventually it was left up to me to try and get the win. So anyway, let's get back into the weapon balance. I do think that Black Ops 3's weapon balance should be commended. Treyarch have done a great job with the weapon balance. There's not too many weapons that I consider to be just completely shit. Probably really only the shotguns and snipers. And that being said, you know, they're never really been my thing in Treyarch games anyway. So one weapon that's gone on under everyone's radar and should probably cop a nerf is the Drakon, or the Drakon. I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce that, but it's basically the semi-auto sniper rifle. And in hardcore, that thing must be ridiculous, because it's a 1-bullet kill to any part of the body in hardcore. And it's a 2-bullet kill. It's stronger than the Shiva, which is weird, because you'd think with the Shiva being an assault rifle, it'd be more powerful than a semi-auto sniper. But the Drakon is just far superior to the Shiva, because it shoots faster. It's the same 2-bullet kill, I guess. It's less mobile, because I'm not sure, I don't think you can use stock on it. But it's not overpowered, the Drakon, but it could probably do with a nerf. Yeah, I'm not sure how. Maybe a damage reduction, because that thing is a 1-bullet kill to the head, and it's not too hard to get headshots with snipers in this game. So commenting on some more patch notes, I'm glad that they reduced the recoil on some weapons, especially the Man of War. The Man of War's recoil was ridiculous. Even with grip, it was so hard to control. And it was basically, its strengths were long range, like it had good range and whatnot, but you couldn't even kill people at long range because the recoil was just way too much to handle. So here I cap B and my teammate saves my life. Solo cap B, and we're down by 20 points at this point with not too much time left, so we basically have to hold B for the rest of the game. And this is when I start going big. I start slaying around this right side of the map, holding it down for my team so they only have to watch the middle, basically. And, oh, nearly shit on that kid. So, the LCAR 9 also got a nerf, which I do agree that it deserved a nerf. It was quite overpowered, but I just hope they didn't make it too useless. By the sounds of things, though, they affected like 3 or 4 different things on that weapon. I think they reduced the range, the damage, the hipfire spread, so that's not too great to hear. Because I did like that weapon, and there's only 3 pistols in this game, which is kind of confuses me why they only had 3 pistols. But so what I want to know from you guys is, do you think Black Ops 3's weapon balance is the best in a Call of Duty to date? I think Modern Warfare 3 is probably slightly more balanced, maybe Modern Warfare 2 as well. Black Ops 2 was quite balanced as well, so I'd chuck that in the mix. But Black Ops 3, if they fix a few more things, definitely will be. And I think at this point in a Call of Duty's life cycle, 1 month in, Black Ops 3 has hands down the best balance out of any Call of Duty. Because if we look back to Modern Warfare 3, for example, its weapon balance was pretty bad early on, like the Striker, the FMG9 Kimbos, the Type 95. You know, there were a few issues, and then Black Ops 2, you know, had similar issues earlier on, but they did eventually nerf some of the more overpowered things. So as you can see, it's 197 to 197, ticks over. I hear that the guy is capping A, turn around, get the final kill, and we win by 1 point. It was a pretty good comeback as well. I think we were down by like 25 points, and yeah, I went 41 to 7 with 7 captures. Again, I wasn't really playing the objective too hard out, which nearly cost my team the game, but you know, it just shows I turned it around. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I appreciate any support you show in this video, and let me know what you think of the weapon balance in Black Ops 3. So thanks for watching.